And let me tell you something, it is going to taste unbelievable. So to cook the pears, you need a poaching liquid. So when in Rioja, why not use the Rioja juice? This is that beautiful red wine from the north of Spain. I'm going to use about a cup, I guess. You know, I'm sort of just going to eyeball this. To be honest, all you need is to submerge those pears. So a little bit of Rioja wine. I've got some sherry, which brings a really nice acidity. Maybe just a quarter of a cup of that. And I've got some red port. Port brings beautiful sweetness, of course, and this, we do want those pears to be a little sweet. So we go ahead and put about the same quantity of the red wine in the port. Next, we take a little sugar and then a little bit of spice. So 3 or 4 tablespoons of sugar, a couple of cloves, and some nutmeg. So while our poaching liquid's coming up to a gentle simmer, I'm going to poach my pears. Well, first of all, I've got to peel them. These are the Poached pears, and I like them because they're nice and firm and they'll take a little bit of cooking. To remove the core, all you do is get one of these melon ballers and go straight in. Then you take that whole pear and drop it in the liquid. I mean, lucky pears. I'd quite like to take a bath in Rioja wine, port, and just a little sugar. Now, if they're not covered, like you see mine aren't quite submerged, no drama, just get a little bit more of that wine, a little bit more of the port, and a little bit more of the sherry. And once you can no longer see the pears, you've got enough poaching liquid. Have a taste, of course, make sure you're happy with it. Oh yeah. Now you might want to tweak up the sweetness. If you're not too into the sweet, you want more of a savory note, hold back on it. They're going to take about 20 minutes or so to poach, so you just let them simmer away. All right, while that happens, let's talk cheese. Let's get down to business. Let's get to the part that I love. Okay, this is a beautiful goat's cheese. Now you can see this one has quite a little bit of age. It's not a soft goat's cheese. You can see here, if I touch that, you can see the mold actually very, very soft on that, which is amazing. But when I press, it's still quite firm, all right? Best thing to do, because all cheeses are different, is always start with this, having a taste. Get yourself just a little piece. It's a strong flavor. So initially I was thinking I'll do little slices like that, nice and thin, but I actually think it's such a strong flavor, I might cut it into these tiny little wedges, which will look really nice in the salad. The other thing that happens when you cut a cheese like this part of the cheese is very different to this part of the cheese, which is also different to the outside, the mold. Now, I think you want to get a little bit of all of it in one mouthful. Now I'm just thinking of things to say so I can continue to eat cheese. Every time I see a piece of cheese, I'm like, well, that one needs to be eaten. I know it's a problem, but I haven't figured out the solution to it just yet. The pears have been simmering away for about 15 minutes or so. I've just checked them and they're soft, and here's how you do that. You just want to find the stem, lift them on up. Just take your knife. I mean, look at that. First of all, beautiful. If you'd like to cut it in half, just go ahead. Then I take the whole pear and put it back in the liquor. If your knife slides straight on through, you know it's perfectly cooked. So now we store the pears overnight in the poaching liquid. I cheated and I cooked some pears ahead of time, so these ones have actually been chilling. And have a look at the intense flavor they get. And you'll know that by their color. Look at that. See how it really just sinks in, that beautiful deep claret color. That comes from one night in the fridge. Very, very simple. All right, let's make the dressing. So here I've got the, this is a white wine vinegar with fresh tarragon, and you can see the tarragon literally floating in that vinegar, which is great. First of all, I'm gonna add to a bowl a few shallots, add my vinegar, like that, and extra virgin olive oil. It's a very simple dressing, but the flavor of it is really, really wonderful. So, nice steady stream of the extra virgin olive oil, and you just whisk. Season it with a little salt and some freshly ground black pepper. So you're looking for the balance between fat and acid, so you've got to have a nice bright punch to it, but it's still got to be really round from the extra virgin olive oil. And to me, this. Just a tiny bit more olive oil, whisk away, tiny bit more salt too. When you're tasting it, just be thinking about the flavour of the cheese, which we know you've already tasted, and also the flavour of those pears, the sweetness that you're going to get from those. Okay, that's it. Dressing's done. This is very easy from this point on. I'm going to move my cheese right up the front here. I'm going to take my pears that have now chilled in that beautiful broth. When I cut these, you're going to see the colour really goes a long way into those pears. Now, if you want to get an even stronger flavour of that red wine, here's what you do. So I'm just going to remove a little bit of this poaching liquid. You don't need a lot, like maybe 1/4 of a cup, 5 or 6 of these spoons, I guess. And I'm going to reduce it down until it's a nice thick sort of syrupy glaze. While that reduces down, and it literally will only take a few minutes, time to make our salad. So in a large mixing bowl like this, I combine a couple of leaves. I'm going to add some petite arugula and frisée. 2 of my favourite leaves. Beautiful. Next, I take whole parsley leaves. I know it's herbaceous and it's strong, but guess what? So's the goat's cheese. So are the poached pears. So you need ingredients that are going to stand up to it. So small handful, fresh parsley leaves. I can hear this. You can hear this getting nice and thick. You can see it, right? The viscosity is already starting to get quite different. Now, it will get even thicker as it cools down, so you don't want to take it too far. Maybe another 30 seconds. Now, I know it's sort of at the right viscosity when you turn it off, and watch this, when I lift it up, it'll take a minute for it to beat away from the pan. You can tell that's getting really quite thick. Okay, we'll let that cool down. Season your salad with just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then the dressing. Let's give it a quick toss. And make sure that vinaigrette is really nicely distributed throughout your salad. You want to dress each one of those leaves with a vinaigrette, so just lift it up and let it naturally sort of fall back down. It's time to plate it. It's really that simple. You just want to use your salad servers, pick it up nice and lightly, bring it over to your plate, and always put it right in the center. Keep piling it up nice and high. It will naturally fall off, but that way you'll get really nice height in your salad. Next, you're going to start distributing some of the delicious bits, right? So we've got these beautiful little pieces of cheese, and I just start dropping them all over that salad. Next, you take the pear and you start laying that all over your salad as well. One of my favorite things to come out of Spain is Marcona almonds. They're so delicious. They feel kind of oily, super crunchy, full of flavor. You've got 2 options. You can either place them on the salad just like they are, which I don't have a problem with, but I would also encourage you to go ahead and shave some too. When you shave these over the top, it means that every single bite has some delicious Marcona almonds as well. Last but certainly not least, you come over and get your reduction that's now cooled down, and look how thick and syrupy that is. It's almost like the consistency of a great quality balsamic. So what I do with this is drizzle all the way around the plate. And thanks for watching. Now I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you want more, because I've got plenty to give you. All you have to do is subscribe.